Hello, my name is Ruben Rubio. Help support my channel by visiting my website RubenRubioTX.com on your phone, tablet, or PC. For Facebook, go to the menu and click on the Facebook logo. On my Facebook page, click Like and Follow. For Instagram, go to the menu and click on the Instagram logo. On my Instagram profile, click Follow. For YouTube, go to the menu and click on the YouTube logo. On my YouTube page, click Subscribe and ring the bell for all notifications. For Twitch, go to the menu and click on the Twitch logo. On my Twitch page, click the heart to follow. If you have questions you'd like answered on one of our live streams or YouTube videos, go to the menu and click on Ask a Question. Fill out all the details in the form and click Submit. You can choose to be anonymous or have your first name mentioned on the video. If you'd like to schedule a phone appointment, go to the menu and click Schedule Phone Appointment. Fill out all the details and when the best time to reach you, and we will get back to you at our earliest time available. Hola, mi nombre es Ruben Rubio. Para apoyar mi canal, visite mi sitio de web RubenRubioTX.com en tu teléfono, tableta o computadora. Para Facebook, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Facebook. En mi página en like y siga. Para Instagram, vaya al menú y haga en el logo de Instagram. En mi perfil de Instagram, haga clic en. Para YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de YouTube. En mi página de YouTube, haga clic en suscríbase y haga sonar la campana para todas las notificaciones. Para Twitch, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Twitch. En mi página de Twitch, haga clic en el corazón para seguir. Si tienes preguntas que le gustaría responder en alguno de nuestros live streams o videos de YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en Ask a Question, llene todos los detalles del formulario y haga clic en Enviar. Puede elegir ser anónimo o que su primer nombre se mencione en el video. Si desea programar una cita por teléfono, vaya al menú y haga clic en Schedule Phone Appointment. Llene todos los detalles y cuando es el mejor momento para llegar a usted y nos encontraremos en nuestro momento más temprano disponible. Hello, my name is Ruben Rubio. Help support my channel by visiting my website RubenRubioTX.com on your phone, tablet, or PC. For Facebook, go to the menu and click on the Facebook logo. On my Facebook page, click Like and Follow. For Instagram, go to the menu and click on the Instagram logo. On my Instagram profile, click Follow. For YouTube, go to the menu and click on the YouTube logo. On my YouTube page, click Subscribe and ring the bell for all notifications. For Twitch, go to the menu and click on the Twitch logo. On my Twitch page, click the heart to follow. If you have questions you'd like answered on one of our live streams or YouTube videos, go to the menu and click on Ask a Question. Fill out all the details in the form and click Submit. You can choose to be anonymous or have your first name mentioned on the video. If you'd like to schedule a phone appointment, go to the menu and click Schedule Phone Appointment. Fill out all the details and when the best time to reach you, and we will get back to you at our earliest time available. Hola, mi nombre es Rubén Rubio. Para apoyar mi canal, visite mi sitio de web RubenRubioTX.com en tu teléfono, tableta o computadora. Para Facebook, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Facebook. En mi página de Facebook, haga clic en like y siga. Para Instagram, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logo de Instagram. En mi perfil de Instagram, haga clic en seguir. Para YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de YouTube. En mi página de YouTube, haga clic en suscríbase y haga sonar la campana para todas las notificaciones. Para Twitch, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Twitch. En mi página de Twitch, haga clic en el corazón para seguir. Si tienes preguntas que le gustaría responder en alguno de nuestros livestream o videos de YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en Ask a Question, llene todos los detalles del formulario y haga clic en Enviar. Puede elegir ser anónimo o que su primer nombre se mencione en el video. Si desea programar una cita por teléfono, vaya al menú y haga clic en Schedule Phone Appointment. Llene todos los detalles y cuando es el mejor momento para llegar a usted y nos encontraremos en nuestro momento más temprano disponible. Hello, my name is Ruben. Hi there, everybody. This is RubenRubioTX, and welcome back to our show. Today, we're going to talk about a very important situation that happens to most people. We're going to talk about setting money aside in case of an emergency. Of course, we call it an emergency fund. Most agents out there don't really know how to work their policies, and most agents don't know how to help out their clients. I usually get calls from clients telling me, hey, Mr. Rubio, we need some money. Can we get some money? Yeah, you can get some money if you have a whole life policy, of course. And I usually go online and check how much money they can borrow. And of course, I warn the client, hey, you got to pay this back so you can continue on your life insurance policy. Today, I'm going to talk about how to maintain 2 savings accounts, which are very critical for emergency funds. The reason that, let me just read it out, that way I don't misquote myself. The reason is quite simple. Most people usually have one savings account, but it's really an account in which they deposit are equal to their withdrawals. You know how that goes. A put and take account, not a true savings account. They therefore never really build any significant dollar value because they do not have enough money in there. Put and take out accounts, people have to turn to their credit cards when emergencies occur, like we've seen in this year that we had the pandemic. That is one of the key reasons for heavy credit card debt, and that is a carried at ridiculously high interest rates in America. The answer to this problem is quite simple: building a savings account in two separate accounts. And this is what we're going to talk about. One will be the put and take out account, which is necessary to cover month to month cash needs that one must stash money away for throughout the year. This account provides for such needs as annual vacations, reoccurring bills that they will be coming up each year. The second account should be labeled as an emergency fund, and the money that is placed in the account is to be only used when, in case of an emergency. Used for the unexpected emergencies that suddenly occur in life. The expenses do not include sudden desires to buy an item that is one feels that they cannot live without. The goal of the emergency fund is to end up with enough money saved to cover at least 6 months living expenses. It may take up to 5 years to accomplish this goal, but once you have achieved this position, he or she will have a peace of mind that will add years to their lives. And, you know, Richard, I'm reading it out for verbatim because I can't remember it all, but also because it is so critical. I mean, unfortunately, as I mentioned, a lot of people, they don't know what to do with their money. A lot of people get money, and as they get it, they just spend it. I have certain friends, I will not mention their names because they're probably watching, that they've gone to the mall. I said, "Oye, Ruben, fui al mall, traba $1,000. We just got our tax rebate and this and that." Oh, okay. And what did you spend? I don't know. And there's nothing left.
Yeah, it's all gone.
You know. So today, I just want to make a distinction, and that I'm telling the clients, there are ways, even though you have a life insurance policy, to accumulate money in case of an emergency, or just have something there in that case of that emergency. And of course, you know how it is. You know, we put money into our savings accounts at the bank, and all of a sudden, ay, ¿sabes qué? Salió la televisión más nueva. Oh my God, the latest TV just came out. You know
Exactly.
that, the crystal, the one that curved like that, and it's so nice. And Ruben, it was on special. It was only $4,000.
It's always on special.
It's always on special. And they're like, yeah, Richard, it's always on special. And like, no, there's other things we can spend our money. Or we have family members that tell me, "Hey, Ruben, I bought the latest iPhone. I mean, it only cost me $1,200." Like, oh my God.
Only 1,200. Wow.
Why do you need a brand new phone? What happened to the other one? Well, it's already 6 months old. And like, oh, okay. And I've had my phone for 3 years already. I guess it's ancient by today's standards, but you know, Richard, it's not a necessity.
Exactly.
It's not an emergency. And you know how it is, you know, unfortunately, when we started this pandemic back in March, which it's already been a year, a lot of people would go to their favorite grocery store, to their favorite stores, and my God, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
You remember that? Going into, I'm going to particularly talk about HEB because that's what's local here, and Walmart. Oh my God, there was no toilet paper, there was no soups, there was no bread, there was nothing.
Meat, no
there
cheese,
was no water,
nothing.
there was no cheese, there was there was no meat. And you know, honestly, like, really? Are you going to consume all of that? You know, if you freeze it, it won't taste that good afterwards, you know, but you know, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, it happens.
It happens, and as I'm going through this, I've explained it to several of my clients that it's important to have money in case something happens. So I've had this experience several times. Many years ago, I started doing this.
Mhm.
My employer, who will not be named but lives up north, told me, look, you got to start doing this for your clients, and they will appreciate you. So I find that most agents, you talk to them about this thing and they have no idea what I'm talking about, how to save money, how to separate money. It's not a savings account, it's just an accumulation of their money through what we call the APDF. And what's that? That's called the Advanced Premium Deposit Fund. And it's such a benefit to the client.
And what is it exactly?
Huh?
And what is it exactly? Because you're talking about a savings account. How does this? I guess what is it exactly? How does it benefit the customer?
What it is that most people, when they purchase their insurance, I talk to them about separating a little extra money to help them out in case of an emergency. I told them, look, you put this money in there. It's like it's like giving the payment to the the washer, the dryer. You know how that goes. Remember when we used to go to Sears and Montgomery Wards and all those stores that no longer exist. You would separate money and then you would pay, hey, a washing machine, a refrigerator, hey, I want a walker. Of course, I tell people, the walker is the most expensive thing that you have in your house other than the closet, because that's where most of your clothes are hanging. That's what I've seen that most people use it for, hanging their clothes. But they would, faithfully every month pay $150 for that commodity that they needed. Well, this is not a commodity. This is something that will help you out in case of something major, which we just passed through this pandemic, and we're still in right smack in the middle as I see it. Things are not getting better, so you still need to take care of yourself and be prepared in case you need money in case of an emergency. And why do I say that? Most people think, oh, well, the life insurance is when I die. Well, you know what? It could also be a living benefit. If you separate money, you have an emergency, you don't necessarily have to die, and I hope you don't. But you have something there to help you out. Hey, one of my kids got sick. Hey, I need $5,000-$6,000. Oh, remember most people have that health insurance. Well, they need to meet a deductible. Well, if you separate money like I'm telling you and I'm talking to you, this will not affect your life insurance benefits. This will not affect your savings account or your checking account or your credit cards. You just have that stack of money accumulating there just in the event of an emergency. And a lot of people say, Ruben, and do you know anybody that's used it? Many years ago, I had a lot of people that used to work in the oil fields and used to go work out in different places, and they were raking in real good money. And I have a particular couple here in Hidalgo County and the city of Hidalgo, which in one occasion, I get a call from them. Hey, Mr. Rubio, we're calling you because we've got some bad news. And I said, well, yeah, go ahead and tell me what's going on. Well, that life insurance you sold us, it's kind of steep, but we're going to have to let it go. I said, no, you know what? The life insurance isn't steep. It's what I attach to it that you're feeling steep. Let me go by there. So I went by their home and I sat down with them. I pulled the policy service sheet, which, takes the information down, and I get how much cash value they have, who's their beneficiaries, how the policy is, if it's life, term, who's on it, the children, who the beneficiaries are. And I told them, hey, when I originally sold you this policy, and let me just review this because we don't remember everything, and nobody remembers everything I tell them because, it's way too much information. And of course, I leave them a sheet of paper explaining what I tell them, and where that usually is. Somewhere out there, it's la land.
Exactly.
So, and I would pull out the sheet and look, this is what we did. On your policy, I sold you a whole life policy. I sold you a term policy. In the event you were to pass away, we have already the benefit. How is it going to be settled?
in your case of your demise, the house will be paid off first. Then your wife will be the beneficiary that will receive the money, and then we can use the money, whatever is needed, to pay for the funeral. I said, well, yeah, that sounds good. And then we have a plan separate telling you how she should spend most of that money, which of course we have no control after that. Exactly. Then, of course, I showed them. But remember when I talked to you about this, I said, you know what, give me an extra $100. And why do you need an extra $100? Because I'm going to put it into a benefit that's part of your policy, but not part of your policy. It's called the APDF, the Advanced Premium Deposit Fund. So what did they do? He got one for himself, he got one for his wife. So for the next 10 years, they had already accumulated $24,000 on just the $100 each. Okay, and that sounds like a lot of money. Well, the company at the moment was paying 3 or 3.5, depending on how the year was going. So you can imagine they had a lot of money on that thing. And I said, you know what? Yeah. This is how much money you have. And their jaws dropped and they said, what? Yes. What we're going to do is we're going to take this money and you're going to use it to pay whatever debts you have. I said, Mr. Rubio, we're losing the truck. We're losing the house. We don't know what to do. Our bills are stacked up. Dude, this is that emergency that you needed. Yeah. Of course, I got a big hug and a kiss from both of them. So kind of weird.
It's a lot of money, but
some of these guys are pretty big. They're tan grandotes and they have big beards. And like, okay, this feels real funny, you know. But it was okay because, hey, you know what? Another agent would have said, well, ni modo, ya se canceló, you know, it canceled, too bad. No, I actually saved them from losing what they had. And you know what they told me? Mr. Rubio, we're never going to leave you because you all actually looked out for us. You didn't look for your pocketbook. You looked out for us. And that's what I try to do. When you become my client, I try to do the best I can for you. And of course, anybody that wants to know, when you log on now to RubenRubioTX, I'm hoping that we're going to put up this APDF flyer so you can read and any questions you have. Go ahead and ask any questions. If any of the anybody that's listening hasn't asked, go ahead and ask a question, Richard. There's questions there we can ask.
Well, just want to let everyone know that you are watching RubenRubioTX, and you can find us across all social media, RubenRubioTX. If you have questions, you can submit them through the comment section. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. And if you have any questions, you can submit them through our website at RubenRubioTX.com, as well as set up an appointment with Ruben Rubio right now. And today we're talking about having two savings accounts, one standard, but this one particularly the Advanced Premium Deposit Fund. Now, when I think of savings account, usually like the interest rate is like a fraction of a percentage. Is there like an interest rate that comes with this kind of deposit fund?
Yes, there is. Every year the company lays out how much they're going to pay on their interest rate. For a very long time, it's been 3%, and it varies. You know, it varies from year to year, but usually they are stable at a 3%. Now, just imagine $100 a month. Well, that's not much, but in a year, that's $1,200. Guess what? That's at the end of the year, that's $36. Well, how much does the bank pay? Well, it pays 1/4%. So it didn't let in money. Oh, and by the way, you have to pay that money back at that moment when you get the money out. Now, with this premium deposit fund, it's not till you withdraw. They're going to charge you on the interest of the policy. That's what they're going to charge you on. So it's very important to know that this is going to help you out.
And is the interest taxable?
The only on the interest is it taxable. Only on the interest that it accumulated. You don't have to withdraw money. You can just withdraw part of the money. And if it doesn't affect your principal, there's no problem. They're not going to charge you very much.
Mm. And what's the minimum that can be deposited into this kind of account?
That's a very good question. I usually ask, hey, if you can't do very much, $10 a month. In a year, that's $120, and that's still
Mm-hmm.
good. That's still good. That will, help you out. In case of an emergency, as we're talking right now, and like I tell you,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people take advantage of the situation and saying, Mr. Rubio, I need money. Well, let's not take from your life insurance. We'll take from this account, and this account you don't have to pay this one back. That's the beauty of having the premium deposit fund. You don't have to
Okay.
pay it out. It's not a loan. It's your money. It helps you out.
Okay.
It's not like, you take a loan from your policy. You have to pay that back, or else upon your death, it's going to be subtracted from the benefit.
Yeah.
Whoever passes away, God forbid, And it's such a beautiful item. Now, let me just tell you, with the whole life policies that I sell, or the term policies that I sell, this company's been around for over 111 years. This is a very strong and stable company. And I've got to mention to you, there are other policies out there that you can accumulate value, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't have the beauty of being able to separate your money and be separate from your life insurance policy. There are other companies out there that offer what is called a universal life. What is a universal life? It's a premium adjustable policy, whole life policy. So it adjusts to your age, and it adjusts to whatever the situation, especially like the markets nowadays. They vary, so they're not a stable thing. Our company, on our whole life policy, it is a stable benefit that will always be paying. And this is a problem because down the road,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you've had the policy 10, 15 years, all of a sudden you get a letter from the company, hey, you know what, you need to start pumping a little bit more money into this because you're not paying enough to sustain your life insurance. So
Yeah.
many times, a lot of people says, well, it's not going to change, Mr. Rubio. No, let's look what the paper says. Let's see what the contract says. So I opened up the contract. I said, hey, look, in this year, this is what's going to happen. And it has to go up so much, unless the company sends you a letter beforehand saying, it's been real bad. So it's going to happen way before we expected it. So this is something that is a benefit to the client. And plus, here's another thing on these policies, the universal life, which I do not offer. You have to apply for a loan, and they have to do a credit check. And guess what? If you're already up the wazoo with bills, you're not going to pass that loan.
Yeah.
And you can't get the money. But it's your policy. Yeah, but you can't get the money. Where over here, like I told you, it's an account where you're separating money to accumulate for that emergency. And my key word is emergency, because unless you really want that 120-inch TV for $5,000, that really is not an emergency.
And well, you said like the minimum usually is like $10. What would be the maximum someone could be putting on a month-to-month basis?
Usually I find that it depends on how much your premium is, and you can multiply it. There's a figure that they give us, so we can multiply and you can put in money. I've known people that put in up to $200, $300 a month on that policy. I currently don't have any of those clients. I usually, the most we'll put in is either $50 to $100, and that's about it. That's, because of where I live in the area, that's what they can afford. But people up north, they make a little bit more money than we do. You've got to understand the topography of the area where we live, how it is.
Yeah.
We live in the Rio Grande Valley. Most people don't make more than $7.50 an hour. Most of the managers don't make more than $12.50 an hour. Most of the people, they just simply can't afford it. You go to San Antonio, where I have clients there also. Well, Mr. Rubio, well, I make $17 an hour. Well, yeah, because the cost of living is so much higher. Oh, and by the way, their funeral expense isn't in the $12,500. their funeral expenses are usually 17 to 18 to 20,000. You go to Dallas, you're looking at almost 25,000. Houston, you're looking at about 17 to 18,000. Even though Houston's pretty big, but it's expensive to live there. And it's just by the cost of living. My sister-in-law who passed away several years ago in California, I mean, we're looking at about $15,000, and they lived in a real small ranch.
Yeah.
If they lived in Los Angeles or San Diego or San Francisco, a funeral is not going to, $25,000 is not going to cover the funeral. I mean, I'm just telling you the way it is. And that's why when I talk to clients nowadays, I tell them, think of tomorrow. Don't think of
Now, are there any charges to maintain this or to set this up, or like any chargebacks for not meeting like some kind of minimum?
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. This is not, like I tell you, this is not an account that you have at the bank. This is a life insurance policy, which you're using this vehicle, which is a benefit on the policy that you can add on. The minimum benefit that you can put into it is $10. There's not going to be a charge in it. There's not a charge when you withdraw the money. The only charge that will be is that you will be given a 1099, and they're going to charge you on the interest that your money accumulated. Big difference from, putting all the money in the bank and then you take it all out and, surprise, you get a nice letter from the IRS.
Yeah, exactly. And how long do the funds remain there on deposit?
As long as you can maintain it, as long as you want to have it. I've had people say, "Oh, Mr. Rubio, we're going through a rough time. Let's hold off on this premium deposit fund." Sure, and just tell me when you're ready. Call me, and then of course I have to go back and pick up paperwork, and then hey, here's the submit it to the company, and they start it all over again.
And this is separate from the actual insurance policy, right? It's not taken away from that.
It's just the benefit that you're adding onto it. It's just one of the riders. It's like you have the whole life policy, then you have the accidental benefit, and then you have the disability rider. Then of course you have the children. It's just another benefit that we add on to the existing policy.
Okay.
So there's no minimum charge, but there is a minimum that you can deposit, which is of course $10.
$10. And like, let's say I did want to withdraw some money, like how soon could I get the money?
Oh, you can have it 6 months and then ask for the whole $60, and it's yours. But it didn't accumulate any value because it needs to be there a year so the company can pay you the interest.
Okay. And like, let's say I were to pass away, what happens to the funds?
Oh, automatically, those are tax-free to the beneficiary. Doesn't matter who it is. If it's the wife or it's the kids, that money is added on to the existing policy, their benefits.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's unfortunately it's a feature that is necessary. And like you said, we don't know what tomorrow is going to hold. We don't know what tomorrow is going to happen. And as I keep telling people, hey, with all due respect, do you know when your next accident's going to be? Well, no.
Yeah.
I was at a house last week where this client has been my client for the last 20 years. And as we're walking out the door, and she said, Mr. Rubio, do you have clients around here? And I said, yeah. I started mentioning the Orestes, the Rodriguez, the Gomez, the Sanchez, and I started pointing. He said, you have that many in this area? Just in this area? Yeah. After I talked to you, I passed out my cards. A lot of people called me back. I went to talk to them. Some of them have the benefit, some don't have the benefit. And I was telling my client, one of the sad stories is that 3 houses away from her, I had met a guy. He said, hey, Mr. Rubio, I like what you're talking, but I don't have money right now. I'm going to get the policy on the 3rd of the month. Come back at the beginning of next month. And I went back. Lo and behold, I knocked on the door. This lady comes out. Oh, who are you? I said, well, I'm Mr. Rubio. I'm the life insurance agent, and I'm here to talk to your so-and-so. And she said, oh, that's my brother. Did he have a policy? And I said, no. Oh, thank God he had a policy. He said, man, wait a minute. What's going on? Well, my brother, he had an accident and he got run over yesterday. And
Mm-hmm.
I told him, man, he was gonna buy the policy today.
Yeesh.
I can't help you. It's
Mm-hmm.
just one of those things, you know. It's a
Yeah.
part of life.
Yeah.
So it's always important to be sure that you take care of yourself by taking care of the rest of the family. As I've mentioned many times, you got to think about your wife, your kids, your brothers and sisters, and if you're single, you got to think about how they're going to handle the situation.
Mm.
Because unfortunately, in the state of Texas, you don't have a way to bury yourself. The county will come and pick you up, and the county will send a bill to your next of kin. And if you don't pay it, don't worry, there'll be a lien at their property when you least expect it.
Um,
So
Now, I
that's
guess
how
one more
unfortunately
question.
the cookie crumbles.
Uh, I guess the final question I would have is one of these premiums deducted from the actual account.
Oh well, when you do your monthly installment that you pay your monthly premium, it will automatically be drawn out of your account at that moment. Remember, it's just going to be one charge. So you have your life insurance policy. Let's say you're paying $65 and you decided to separate 10, 15, or $50. They're going to withdraw it at that point. So you don't have double charges and you don't have to worry about that. You know how finicky it is in the bank, they
Yeah.
love extra charges.
Yeah,
And they,
fee upon
especially if they're
fee.
going to charge us, they're real happy. But that's
Yeah.
why we do it all in one payment. That way it's comfortable. Every month, hey, on the 15th, they're going to withdraw $115. So you're
Yeah.
ready. And the beauty of with the companies that I work, in case of an emergency and you can't, and you don't have money by that day, please call me or call the company directly at least 3 business days beforehand. Don't be calling me, Mr. Rubio, they're going to charge this afternoon. There's nothing I can do. Mr.
Yeah.
Rubio, it's Saturday and I don't have any money. I can't help you. I
Mhm.
warn all my clients. If you don't have money, call me at least 3 business days prior to your draft date. And our draft dates are from the 1st all the way to the 28th of every month. So depending
Okay.
on how you've already got your cycle, that's how you're going to determine. Well, they're going to draft on the 28th. Call me on the 24th, just to make sure.
Hmm. Okay. Well, just to recap everything we've been talking about today, you were mentioning about having two savings account, one for personal, but to protect yourself, having a second one known as an advanced premium deposit fund that is there in a case of an emergency. You're paying a small premium depending on what you're willing to spend a month, and when you need it, it's there to protect you and help you during an emergency.
Yeah, and that's what it's for an emergency. Now, we neglected to talk about the first one because the first one is the one that most people have, which is a savings account at the bank.
Yeah.
But you know how that is. You put in $50 and they, oh my God, at the end of the month, I need the $50 and you take it out. And you do know how this works. If you
Hmm.
withdraw from your savings account more than 3 times in a month, oh, they're going to charge you real nice.
And if
You
you
know
have
how
less
that
than a certain amount, they're going to charge you a fee. You have to maintain certain things, but through this, there's no minimum lower than $10
no
within the
minimum
account,
loans about.
and there's no what is it? No charges to have the account, uh, like fees, like hidden fees that you would get with a normal savings account. This one, you're pretty much safe uh, as long as you maintain the a balance in there, the minimum balance, and just pay monthly with the along with the premium. So, and for
Yes.
those of you interested, um, you know, feel free to visit RubenRubioTX.com to set up an appointment, and he can actually walk you through the steps on not only getting life insurance, but also finding a way to add this advanced premium deposit fund. He's willing to take any calls, any information, and help you out, as well as you can leave your questions so that we can answer them. And you can find us across Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch at RubenRubioTX, where we're here answering your questions on insurance and how to leave a legacy. Would you like to add anything else before we say goodbye?
No, other than the fact, thank you for listening, and hopefully this could be a benefit for you and your family. And that's what we're here for.
Yes. Well, thank you for watching, and once again, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch at RubenRubioTX. You can visit our website, RubenRubioTX.com, where we'll be uploading this PDF that answers some of the questions for this advanced premium deposit fund. And we'll be here next Tuesday and maybe around 3 o'clock Central Standard Time here from Texas.
Yes, sir.
You've been watching Ruben Rubio.
Hey, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Richard.
Yes. All right. Have a good day.
Y'all have a good day.
Hello, my name is Ruben Rubio. Help support my channel by visiting my website, RubenRubioTX.com, on your phone, tablet, or PC. For Facebook, go to the menu and click on the Facebook logo. On my Facebook page, click like and follow. For Instagram, go to the menu and click on the Instagram logo. On my Instagram profile, click follow. For YouTube, go to the menu and click on the YouTube logo. On my YouTube page, click subscribe and ring the bell for all notifications. For Twitch, go to the menu and click on the Twitch logo. On my Twitch page, click the heart to follow. If you have questions you'd like answered on one of our live streams or YouTube videos, go to the menu and click on Ask a Question. Fill out all the details in the form and click Submit. You can choose to be anonymous or have your first name mentioned on the video. If you'd like to schedule a phone appointment, go to the menu and click Schedule Phone Appointment. Fill out all the details and when the best time to reach you, and we will get back to you at our earliest time available. Hola, mi nombre es Rubén Rubio. Para apoyar mi canal, visite mi sitio de web RubenRubioTX.com en tu teléfono, tableta o computadora. Para Facebook, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Facebook. En mi página de Facebook, haga clic en like y siga. Para Instagram, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logo de Instagram. En mi perfil de Instagram, haga clic en seguir. Para YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de YouTube. En mi página de YouTube, haga clic en suscríbase y haga sonar la campana para todas las notificaciones. Para Twitch, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Twitch. En mi página de Twitch, haga clic en el corazón para seguir. Si tienes preguntas que le gustaría responder en alguno de nuestros live stream o videos de YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en Ask a Question, llene todos los detalles del formulario y haga clic en Enviar. Puede elegir ser anónimo o que su primer nombre se mencione en el video. Si desea programar una cita por teléfono, vaya al menú y haga clic en Schedule Phone Appointment. Llene todos los detalles y cuando es el mejor momento para llegar a usted y nos encontraremos en nuestro momento más temprano disponible. Hello, my name is Ruben Rubio.